Well, I want to talk about the 2-year-olds with Amy. We've spent all week going with the babies here. I'll put you in a better frame here. We've spent all week going with the babies. Amy's seen them all. I've seen them all. Thoroughly impressed with a couple of them. You guys are going to be so impressed. A couple of them maybe made breaks, or maybe every time this time of year you had one that was a little sick, or maybe a week behind to get castrated or whatnot. And some of the horses have really caught up and really looked good. We can talk about how they looked on your video or how the ones went the last 2 days, but I know that I went with a few that I really liked. What'd you go with today? You went with Atronette. Looked okay. I'm ready too. You said he made a break. Did he make a break on some? Good. I trained him in the middle of the week. He was fantastic. Track, in fairness, we have flip-flops on almost all the babies. It's just what we've done the last 2 years here. I like it. There's no need we're not looking to make any more speed with them. So I like the fact that it's like that. But when you have that much snow on the track and flip-flops on, is it no good? No. And I think I'm ready to maybe struggle a little bit in the snow. Who was the other one you were on? Rosetta. That was a much bigger mile. We're going to go back Monday, but I want everybody, we're going to stay around 250, 255 on Monday. I just want everybody going slow but moving their horses. So just a little bit of a light workout on Monday. The reason I'm picking Monday is because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Moses is going to sail through. There's going to be a lot of rain falling on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in both Northfield and the Meadows. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if one or both had to scratch one of those days, had to cancel one of those days. There's no way that it was so cold for a week, snowed all weekend. There's a snowstorm right now. The track is going to be a mess, and then pour rain. I have very little faith in the races going off as scheduled this week at Northfield Park and or the Meadows. So let's get right to it. Allie's got Grit. That's the gelding that's out in Illinois. Those horses, we're going to bring them back in at some point. Last year we brought them in middle of January. They're going to be a little bit later to the party this year. I think we're going to have enough stalls, but we need caretakers too. We're short a caretaker right now. So when we get everything squared away and we have the room and we have the manpower, we're going to bring Mel Gibswan, Mounts for All. Allie's got Grit, and who's the other one? What a Lady, What a Night. We're going to bring them back to two. Well, two of them back to. The other two, just two, Ohio. What are you snickering about? No, I'm not going on. I'm not going to go on until you tell me why you're snickering.
Does that make no sense?
What do you mean? Well, two of them had been here before, so they're coming back. But two of them had never been here, so they're just coming to. I think you should apologize. Want a drink? Okay. Arrowhead Hanover. I'm not. Obviously, I'm a very optimistic guy, and I don't want to talk about expectations in January. But when I look at this guy's breeding gait, he's castrated now, his overall attitude, I like this horse, and I can't wait to see him train down. And Monday, we're going to do the sets tonight. That's what we're going to do, you and I. Monday, we're going to have the sets. I'd love to start going with this guy a little bit. I just don't know which ride I can jump off right now. I know I probably shouldn't go with Green Glitter maybe, but I like Green Glitter a lot.
I'm aware.
She's one of my favorite horses in the whole barn right now. Every year I get really high on one. That doesn't mean they're good. I was high on Enzo for an entire year 2 years ago. Who was my favorite horse last year?
The Really Don't Care horse. Or Pull the Shoes, one of them.
No, they were training good, but they weren't like, oh my god, this is a killer. Insider Trading I liked. I didn't go with Pickpocket that much, a little bit. Memory and Imagination was good all year, but it wasn't on my radar, so to speak. There must have been somebody. I can't think of it right now. It's good. I'm going to look into that tonight. Drebin, yeah. Everybody loved Drebin. I am missing a horse. I think I'm missing a horse. Anyway, Arrowhead Hanover, I just think this really nice horse, and I'm
ready for Landon. He has excuses for a lot.
Yeah, because he's a lot of talent, and I'm gonna get it right on him before the end of the year. Ready for Landing, you're right. I did like that horse, and I still love that horse. Last night, he did everything right but win the race, and there's never been a shortage of speed. I've never got off of that horse and said, just wish he was faster. He always had speed, and now his mental acuity is up there. He's doing his work right. He did everything right but win the race last night, and he will get it right. you know, you watch the
He's a
qualifier.
baby.
James was bouncing him off horses and running him into blind switches. You know, that he was not firing on all cylinders last night. Mentally, 8 cylinders. He was perfect. Okay. Atronette, I think, is a nice filly. She was really good this week, but another one I think struggled in the snow today.
Yeah, she was horsing a bit too.
She was horsing a bit. That's the other thing. We're getting to springtime, and some of those 2-year-olds. One of my favorite fillies, Speed and Sound, the one you picked out. She was horsing bad on Wednesday, and again today. Less today, but still a little bit. And it took Memento Mori to run her down today. She was that good, but he did. He got up and beat me fair and square, but she was horsing pretty good. Aunt Lily, big strong filly. She was great in the video when I went with her the other day. She made a break on Joey. Joey's a great kid, just learning how to drive, and and I'm sure you guys notice it. You got to veer to the right. You know that? Yeah. Sorry. When you're driving trotters, and I tell Amy this all the time, and I just assume when I say it, they understand what I'm.
Here?
No. That's Fairview Road. Let's not kill the people beside us. They're there first. See the car?
I wasn't going to.
Okay, you just stay in
But
this
if I
lane.
had missed this exit, you would have been mad. For
Yeah, but I would have been
at least
more mad
10
if you had a
minutes.
sideswipe that Acura. When
Let's
you
not
weigh them-
bring up our driving records.
Well,
right now.
when you put the problems
I wasn't
side by side, missing
going-
exit is much better
So
than
the
sideswipe.
difference between you and I is I look before I.
Whoa! I looked. I'm not even driving, and I knew there was a black Acura right there. I don't like your innuendo, your insinuations. So up here, you know.
Yeah,
Okay, you know where you're at now.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Sorry, just checking. Aunt Lily is. I think it'll be a tremendous filly. She's big, strong filly. She's got a little mean streak in her too. Just enough though, just enough. And when I put her on the front the other day, she was awesome. So Joey went with her and she made a break. Now I try to tell you and Joey sometimes when I tell you guys to score the horses down. What I mean by that isn't just to go a little bit faster the right way of the track, because I think that's what you guys hear and that's what you do.
Fairness, training yesterday was like last minute. Let's train them when we're already out
I'm
here.
not talking about training at all. I'm talking about when I say to you guys, hey, you got to score that horse down. In my mind, it's not what you guys do, and I think it's because I don't articulate myself well enough. When you go to with a baby, for me, when I go with a young horse, a young trotter especially, I want to score them down, and I want to know what they're comfortable doing and not comfortable doing, so that I can avoid those landmines in training. That's going to bottleneck a little bit, but it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. And when I see you and Joey, you'll turn them and you'll just let them trot like faster. That is what I mean. Put them right in gear, put them on the bit, and then that way you can feel what they're comfortable doing and you can feel what they're not comfortable doing, so that when you're in the mile, you can stay ahead of them, right? You know what's coming. This is how this horse felt a minute ago when I scored it down in the middle of the turn and put a step in, and you can be ahead of that horse. You can correct that before it becomes a problem in the training session. And I don't make that clear enough. And I you know, again, I don't want to preach to Joey and say, hey, you need to do this and do that. That's not it. Joey's a great kid, does a great job, but I'm not clear enough when I say to you guys, hey, score that horse down. Like Jason today was jogging around. He's a great guy. He made a break on you. He's jogging around like he's an 8-year-old trotter. And I turned him and I said, hey, I'm not taking that. Who that is? And I told him, I said, hey, make sure you score that horse down. But Jason did. He scored him down. He let him rock because he knows. Him and I have had this conversation. He knows what I'm talking about. And I just think I didn't make it clear enough to you and Joey. When you score them down, you can let them go. You can let them rattle a little bit. So you can get a feel for the bit. You can get a feel for them in your hands and say, okay, this you can, because you can tell when you hold of the horse. You can tell when that horse is comfortable or uncomfortable. You'll see a 2-year-old come to the turn. If it's at a pretty good speed, it comes to the turn. It's either slick gated and just busts through, or it's trying to figure out how to square itself around and trot through that turn. You need to know what that boiling point is, and that is what I mean by when I say score that horse down. That is what I mean. Anyway,
They don't do the same things in a group by themselves.
no, but they have to know that you understand. It's all about everything. You'd be very surprised what a horse can feel and what connection you can make with a horse just through the lines in a bit, from them feeling you take a hold of them or allow them to push them in a certain area. And as you get used to doing that, as you get used to that feeling, then you get used to how you can push horses in certain directions when they're training. So a perfect example is Aunt Lily. when she gets to the turn, she'll box her gate up and she'll make a break. That's why she made a break on Joey in the turn. Because once they start into that turn on the wrong foot, so to speak, it's hard to correct that. But what I did with Aunt Millie was when I got to the turn, I just tapped her on the tail, set the bit in her mouth, and had her on her toes, and I didn't let her box her gate up. And by doing that, you go into the turn on the right foot, so to speak, theoretically. And it's easier to correct her and keep her from tipping over, tilting, and making a break in the turn. And that allows her also to build her confidence the next time around, the next training trip. And that is the difference. That's what I mean when I say score the horse down. There's a lot that goes into what I just said in that one sentence. But that's what I'm saying. See where the tipping points are on the horses. Try to stay away from the real bad spots. When they get to the turn, so they put a real step in and they need to be steadied. So before you get to that point, you're already steadying the horse, and that's starting to build their confidence even more. Anyway, I meant to expand on that with Joey, because I see when I say it to Joey, he'll just turn the horse and just go faster the right way. That's not what I'm getting at. I don't need you. I'm not trying to get you to tire the horse out. I'm trying to get you to get a feel for the horse. Anyway, Baby Zet had been coughing for a week or so. She didn't get to train this week, and she looks like she's growing even now. She looks bigger now. And I think this is going to be a decent filly. It's going to take a tiny bit of time. She was pacey and making breaks. I think that will come to an end very soon. But I think she's going to be a filly. Hits a number of growth spurts throughout the spring. I mean, obviously you want to see the horses hit their best stride, just be automatic. Just push button when you're training them up. But they're not all like that. And I think Baby Zet's going to be fine. Just going to take a little bit of time for her. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill is push button. That's a guy that you can just do whatever you want. He just feels, once in a while, like every so often, if we have, 43 babies at the track, there might be 12 where they're just like race horses. They're just like, you just turn them and there's no problem. They're just going to go and do their work, and that's that. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill is one of those horses. Just a very gifted animal, with a great attitude. When you're looking at concerns, we carry a lot of the horses with low heads. And if you look at Bluebird Tuxedo Hill, he'll tuck his head right in. That is a problem. Now, you can get concerned and put a bit in his mouth to get his head out. The old horsemen say, I'll put a Crit Davis or a Birch on him and get his head out. It doesn't always work that way. You end up frustrating the horses. And I would much rather the horses be in a comfortable position all the time. And for Bluebird, he's been great. He follows good. He never really gets too wound up. So I'm going to leave him as is for right now. Just a really nice horse. Blue Ventura looked great on the track. This is a big, big boy on the track. And I just think that Bluebird Tuxedo Hill is one of those horses that fits into the category, could be anything. Because he could be. A big, strong...
Are you talking about Blue Ventura or Bluebird Tuxedo?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went back one. Blue Ventura, you're right. That's the Heston Blue Chip Colt. He falls under that well, they both do really, but he falls under that category. Addie Bear, what are you doing? Do you want me to let you out here and you just walk the rest of the way? No? Okay. You want some fresh air? You might want some water, do you? I'm going to have a drink. You can have some water.
I want some water.
Mm-hmm.
I drank all my chocolate milk.
You drank all your chocolate milk. Good girl. There you go. So, Blue Ventura, very happy. And again, a lot of the horses just don't know where they start and end. He's got a big frame. He's a very strong horse. He's got a pretty good family. He moves very powerfully. So we'll see. Addie, turn that down, sweetheart. Cadu was castrated last week. He didn't train, did he? He did?
Him and I had him.
Oh, that's right, too. You trained him. Yeah, right. Looks great on the track. Again, doing everything right. Much like Bluebird Tuxedo Hill. He's castrated now. He trots beautifully. He's got a slick gait. Now it's just up to him. He's got all the tools put in the right places. Now he just has to want it more than anybody else that's in the race with him. And he'll get that opportunity in July. So now it's just putting the work into the Bluebird Tuxedo Hills and the Kidus and everybody else to get them to the races. Captain Incredible looks better every time he goes on the track. 1 mile and 2:50 yesterday was very good. Jason was happy with him, so I'm happy with him. Pacing now, doing his work, can't ask for much more than that right at the moment. Century Legion, I watched the sets today from Ontario. Century Legion looked very good. Jared Bothwell, I believe, was going with him, and he sailed by everybody down the lane. This is a very, very good looking colt. I liked him when we bought him. I liked everything about him. Amy liked that he's a Trixton. Amy's not a Trixton fan. I don't mind Trixton. I remember Trixton as Spirit of Dio and Blue. Do you know Blue Bayou Dio still has a track record at Oak Grove, even now?
I actually liked her.
Yeah, she's a nice filly. So I don't hate Trixton.
She's rude.
A little rude. Yep, she was a little rude. Yep. But Century Legion, really good looking trotter on the track. Chicago Hall. I like Chicago Hall. He's being actually castrated. He was castrated this afternoon. They wanted to castrate him. He was starting to strike a little bit at Sydney, which I don't know what to say. But there was no real need for him to be a stud, and we ended up castrating him. I thought the horse had a wonderful gait and a great disposition last week. That changes quickly with those studs, and he's got a heavy body build to him. So I didn't mind castrating him at all, but I think he'll be a much better horse for it. A really nice horse. I like both those Hall horses, but as I get the gas light, I was a little disappointed with his gait today. I don't know whether he just needs a little help. One of my partners, Greg, messaged me and say, hey, he's got a splint that's bothering him there. I assume Shane was the one saying he had a splint bothering him, which is perfectly fine. I just don't see the mechanics falling apart that way from a splint, right? And that's the one thing. It's one thing to say he has a splint. For sure, it bothers him. But does it bother him where he gets all out of gear? What I saw was a horse that may be slipping today. Maybe needs shod. This time of year, we're usually putting a little blister, a light blister on the horses as they start to train harder. I doubt he's had that yet. He may have. He may very well have. I don't know yet. I think just a little hard work, a little blister, a little hard work, make sure he's shod, and he'll come around. Does that splint need crowd? Yeah, we can get a crowd at some point, but it's not going to interrupt his gait the way it looked like it did today. And if it did, well, that's another problem all in itself. Cleveland Masha, I think, is coming along nicely. The Pacers looked okay today. Got to remember, Stutzman's track's very deep. It would have been very, very deep today, and I thought they did okay. I was thoroughly impressed with Woodmere Betcha, and you haven't seen the set yet. Century Legion. Chicago Hall followed along nicely in third, and then in the other set, I thought there were some good-looking horses too. There were some that needed a little bit of work. I was a little disappointed to see Resolve Indeed make a break again. As I said to Danny, enough screwing around. Put the hobbles on her, put a blister on her, and get her working. Everybody, just gonna try this. And first thing you're gonna try, is keep them trotting. That's what we're gonna try. You can screw around, put head poles and Murphy blinds. You can put whatever you want on them after that. Get them trotting and keep them trotting. And Resolve Indeed today, disappointed. If the weather's nice here tomorrow.
I was going to say, you could go there tomorrow.
Weather's nice here tomorrow, she might find the Daily Double here tomorrow morning. Her and Gaslight Hall. Country Dancing looks good. Very happy with Country Dancing. She had a little swelling in her chest the other day, down her boobies. She had a little mastitis.
I was waiting to hear.
Yeah, I didn't really know.
What word you were going to say.
This is a family-oriented video. She had a little. So it's hard to explain. They filled up a little bit. The vet had put her on penicillin. It happens, right? Especially this time of year. It happens. So she was a little uncomfortable middle of the week. So we did not train her. Man, she's a beautiful filly. I can't wait to see us start to mold her and polish her and get some speed in her. She's a beautiful filly. Where did we leave off there? I'm way down on the list for 18 minutes and I've got to see.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pick it up. Dancing by Myself was awesome yesterday. Bit of an enigma. Going slow, he canters and screws around, and then once he hits his gait, he's got the slickest gait, and actually trained very, very good. I'm super impressed with him the other day. Hopefully we can just get him doing it full time now. Fire and Shine was good again, looks great. Foxy Seaside, Jason said trained fantastic yesterday. I didn't see her go, but Jason Merriman did. He said she was fantastic. Freedom Hill was goofing off. Freedom Hill needs some martingale on, needs some bell boots on, just very fast filly, but she's just kind of flown under the radar enough. But she's hit my radar, and she'll be doing her work right this week. Gaslight Hall, as I talked about it, I'll probably go with him tomorrow. Greg, if you're watching this and you maybe have another day off, might want to slide down to the barn in the morning. I suspect Gaslight Hall will look a little better tomorrow. Gorgeous Package looked good again today. Really happy with the way she's doing her work. Huge update! We have a huge update from Grand Old Chap, who has now successfully completed
1 lap.
1 full lap on the trot. We're going to grow from there. Now, he's been going since October, and it is January the 19th. He has completed 1 complete lap. Whatever star you get for trotting for 1 lap, he has achieved that today. So a big update for our Chappie fans. 1 full lap into Grand Old Chapel trot today. He did it. That's all that matters. We can go from there. Grand Slam Dio was good today. She just over-trotted herself at the wire, slipped in the snow under the wire, but she was flying at the wire. I like this filly a lot. She'll still open fire.
I know.
She thought about it today a couple of times. She knew better.
She didn't do it though. She
No.
thought about it.
No. She knows better. She needs a switching Cooper on too. She kind of pumps her tail.
I was
and
going to
then
ask you why she didn't have one.
she's got to hit one on. We got to find one with her. Green Glitter, Amy's favorite filly. What was that? I love Green Glitter. I just think she's still no hobbles yesterday. So when I got to the barn, it was a little bit late. I thought it was going to be much colder. We should have trained everything yesterday, and instead it was just a kind of disjointed, half-assed, throw everything together. Everybody train tomorrow. And what we don't get trained today, we'll train tomorrow. Today, what we don't get trained, we'll train tomorrow. It's a bit of a mishmash of training, but they all get trained. And Green Glitter, I was going out the door, no hobbles on, no nothing, just a bridle and fur. That was it, and harness, and went out and put it on them, and they liked it. She was such a nice filly. She is a very
Didn't Joey go with her
no. Anthony went with her.
yesterday?
No. You think that I would let anybody?
Who else wears a V martingale?
Oh, we have a couple of them with the V's on.
The babies?
No, today he had. Oh hell no, had that on today.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah.
She looked
So really good until he put her. I had made him double her up, and she made a break.
Because you guys were going too fast.
He was going to go very fast. I didn't roar to him. Oh hell no, nice filly also. She's the best in high gear, but I'm glad she did make that break today because she has to learn how to transition. Moving forward, she's fine. Stepping forward,
Slowing
but
down.
switching
Yeah.
gears, she touches a little bit in setting gears. We'll get to her in a minute. We're talking about Green Glitter right now.
Sorry.
Green Glitter?
My bad.
Okay. So, Green Glitter, very nice filly, I think Amy was saying. Really fast filly. Her Memento Mori, there's about 4 or 5 of them that just feel like racehorses right now. That means nothing. As we know, sometimes they get to the track and they just plateau. But this filly just does everything so good. It's really hard for me to think she's going to get there. I remember saying this exact same thing about Enzo. So it can happen. If they just get there and they just don't have enough. Their gas tank just is not big enough to be a good horse, then there's nothing you can do. But Green Glitter checks every single box. Even the box that says kicks at caretakers walking. It was so funny. I felt bad for Lauren, but obviously it didn't hurt her as much. But she was just, after jogging that day, she was just standing there waiting to go get bathed. And Lauren walked by her with a wheelbarrow full of shavings, and she just like, bang, just kicked her right in the leg, just to let her know, hey, don't be walking your shavings around my area there, lady. And just give her a tap right in the leg. And Lauren was not happy, not pleased about that at
Well,
all.
they shouldn't be doing
But I walked up to her, and she's like looking at me, she's like, yeah, I did it. I got nothing.
that. She would do it with her ears up.
I think she did. She's a very funny filly, but a very likable horse, and I like her a lot. Gymboree was awesome the other day too. Man, she was great yesterday too. That was
Yeah,
Jason that
Jason
went with her.
went with
He
her.
thought we were done in that lap, but anyway, she looked very, very good. And going, he's a great guy. Was great this morning too for Jason. Really happy with the way he looked. I told him they're gonna have to get some elbow boots out though. I know he's got lots of weight on, but he is gonna touch his elbows, and that might be why he was doing that on you the other day. There was no marks on his elbows, but I watched him for a good 5 or 6 strides beside me. That guy's going to find his elbows at some point in his life. So
He seemed better with the head pull, I think.
Jason said he was great.
But I couldn't keep him interested. He was interested in working today.
That's why I
which is
didn't score him down. Just kidding.
I scored him down once.
Yeah, but you just remember we talked to it. Just jogging fast.
Dad, how many times you come here in the video?
How many videos? None of your business, you turkey. High Hopes has been good. Was good the other day. She keeps getting better. High Hopes. Remember the horse that kicked Daddy in the leg and put the big bruise on my leg?
No.
Yeah, she did. She's a bugger. I Don't Play Nice was good the other day too. Very nice. I can't wait to sit behind. Wait till I sit behind this horse one time. I don't play nice, he is going to look some kind of flashy. He was good the other day on Joey and has been good. Really nice horse. I'm a Trucker, still working. He's trying to get his work done. I can't make fun of him. He's trying to get his work done. He's not as talented as the Mountaineer Prince horse just yet, but he had OCDs out. His hocks were big. He was touching his ankles. We changed his shoes. I'm a Trucker will come forward. There's tons of time and there's no rush. He will come forward. And he's already been 48, 49. It's not like he isn't trained. I'm Ready Too was great on Wednesday. Made a break on you today, but I'd say he was just slipping. Leggy was very good today training. That was a horse that was right beside Jason with Socks finishing up. That was Leggy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, she's coming with a big rush also. LT Troubadour is terrified of everything outside of air. And we went the other day, no tractors or trucks on the track. There wasn't a lot of traffic out there. I put him on the front, and he was awesome. 245 last half and 121. He looked exceptionally good training the other day. He hits the track very light for a very, very big horse. You get those big horses, they slam down something. They're big and strong animals. He hits the track like a light horse. It's really hard to explain. For a big giant horse, he moves very gingerly, and he's got a nice gait. It's a nice horse. Manhattan Money is big. He hits the track like a big heavy horse. He hits the track like he's looking for a fight, and it's going to take a little time with this guy. He was good today. He's probably ready for 248, 250. We went around 246 today, so Eric did a good job keeping him together. He said he stayed at it. He did his work. Are we going to put the hobbles on him? Maybe soon. But really happy with what I saw from him today. His gait's coming together nicely. It's cleaning up nicely. But he's still a couple weeks behind everybody. Melisandre has looked good. The only concern is that little curb on her left hind. But we're working on it. We're not looking for short fixes, though, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, a long-term fix for this filly. It's nothing that's really broken or hurt, but we really want to nip it in the bud quickly. And I think maybe shocking it after you blister it and then crying it one more time might have to go a little heavier on her this time than last time. But she's been doing her work very well. Memento Mori, he's as durable. Green Glitter is quick on her feet, not quite as... She's a filly. One looks like a colt, one looks like a filly. Green Glitter and her are amongst the top of the class right now. Green Glitter and him. But Memento Mori's coarse. He's a big, strong colt, and he's fast. Really fast colt. This is Kierkegaard's full brother, and he caught everybody's eye the last 2 weeks, and I think that's going to continue for quite a while. Mountaineer Prince looked good, very good the other day training. He's a pretty slick-gated horse. This is the guy that I picked out in Michigan. Good old Muscles Pictonian. I feel bad we're not going to that awards banquet now. Amy didn't want to go to the awards banquet. I don't blame her. It's just a little awards banquet in Lansing, Michigan for the filly. I hope all our clients, if you're out there and you're a Michigan client, I hope you go to this. Well, I guess by the time you see this, you already had to go. I hope you went to the awards banquet because it should be a lot of fun. I really do like those sorts of things. We got so much going on right now. When it comes to Ollie, it's going to be family first, and he has a baseball practice here in 29 minutes.
Yeah.
So that comes first, and he has a baseball birthday party with one of his friends on Sunday. So I wanted to go to Lansing, but I wasn't going to go to Lansing, then come back to Ontario for a birthday party for a 10-year-old. That wasn't going to happen. My Wicked Heart, another filly, was a little bit behind today. It looks like she made a break coming out of the turn. It's going to take time. I'm not worried about My Wicked Heart. I'm pretty happy with the way she's been. Never Lose Felix was good today. I went with him, put the hobbles on him today. Much, much better. Officer Soldier Boy actually looked good today, Brenda's called, in training. Looked very good today. Oh, hell no. You're going to want to keep your eye on this filly for quite a while. She can really rock. And if Joey not doubled her up and then tried to start her back up in the snow, she doesn't make a break, I don't think. And if he had just let her rock, she probably would have beat us by 10 lengths. Yeah. She was very good today. Pelican Al is getting better. I'm very happy. Him and Captain Incredible were a little bit slow getting gated up and getting their work going and moving forward. They're getting it now. So they are a good 2-3 works of that polishing work behind everybody else, but getting there and both looking good. Princess Dream was awesome, and it was, Jared was just sitting on her. Finished third, just sitting on her, finishing up the mile, and there's no need to rush with this filly. She's just a really talented animal. Resolve Indeed, as I said, we're probably going to just put the hobbles on this filly. No, I'm going to put the hobbles on that filly tomorrow, and she's going to train. Rose Run AJ was great, has been great for 2 or 3 weeks. Rose Run Alexandra just feels like she could be put into qualify next week. That's how she looks on the track. She was exceptionally good this week training. Always that dancing Yankee screw loose in her head. You know, always looking for a fight and looking at stuff and just always attentive and ready to attack something. Hasn't been anybody yet, human-wise, but always looking to attack something. And man, she looked really good the other day. Rosetta looked good both on Wednesday and today training. Happy with her. She's sitting about 6th or 7th, I think, right now. Coming on, I thought she was good today. She sits at the bar. Trained yesterday, was very good. Trained middle of the week, was very good. Just made that break under the video the other day. Southwind Idex, Eric trained in 250 yesterday. I didn't see him go. He said he trained by himself. He trained very good. I'm glad. This horse got a clean gait. He's got good breeding, and he's coming on. Very happy to hear good things about Southwind Idex. Speed of Sound. Man, she was really good today. Really, really good finishing up her mile. Memento Mori blew by me late in the mile, but we were really smoking on the end of it. This filly's horsing real bad right now, too. Probably going to get her on Regimate over the next 24 to 48 hours and leave her on it forever. But she looked good today. Very good. The Priest was coughing this week. He did not train, but he will likely train on Monday, I suspect. Trevino on green won his set today and looked very good for Greg Wade deep in the seat. He was very good. Wander Hill was better today, much better. Westland Warrior, as Amy said, flew under the radar today and didn't train, but he will be training on Monday. What a lady, what a night, training in Illinois. Jim said they've been around 50-55, no problem. Same as us for the most part. Woodmere Betcha looked exceptionally good today. Really happy with Woodmere Betcha. This is the Bet the Moon 3/4 sister to Woodmere Steel Deal and looked very good today. Yves St. Kemp cut his pasture and couldn't train this week, and he'll actually miss Monday, but he'll be back in action. If we go back Friday, he'll be there Friday. And those are all of your 2-year-olds. All of the 2-year-olds now have been accounted for. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. We got an early jump in the videos this week, Friday, but nothing's going to change in the 2-year-old ranks after today, except for the 2 that are going tomorrow. 3-year-olds, same thing. 4-year-olds, no, the horse are going to race till we have 2 tomorrow. We have Stay Close tomorrow. Patrick the Piranha tomorrow. We have tonight. We do have the filly in London. What's her name? Easy in the Turns. I think that might be it. Freddie scratched on Sunday. That's it. So we've had a pretty good week. Always a dull part of the year. I just try and slow time this time of year because I know stake payments are coming next month, and that is the toughest, most frustrating part of the year for me. But that's life. So with that, I'm going to let you go. We'll talk to you all very soon. I hope you've all had a wonderful...
Bye,
well, thank you, Addie Barrett. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend, wherever you might be. I will talk to you all very soon. Take care.